Greetings, travelers. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kahi.
And we're the Genshin guys. Welcome all. This podcast is for fans of Genshin Impact, the mobile game made by Hoyoverse, also known as MiHoYo. Here we talk about our opinions, experiences, and dreams about Genshin Impact. If you like our show, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the podcast. So before we get started, Kahi, how are you doing today?
A little tired, but also very, very excited about all the anime I get to watch this season. Oh, all the good ones just came back. Mushoku Tensei's back. Fate Strange Fake is like the best first episode I've seen.
Oh, you're
since,
watching
like,
Fate?
Oshino Ko.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Oh, did you know? Oh, you didn't watch the new Strange Fake, right?
No.
They are breaking all the rules, and I love it. It's like, what would happen if, you could have this character do this, or like, what if they didn't have to follow that rule of this? Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but what if they gave like noble phantasms to humans?
Oh my god. Okay.
That'd be great.
All right, maybe I'll check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I love the animation on this one too. It's very, very different, very unique. I mean, all the Fate series has been known for having a wide variety of animation houses. Like, you can take on the projects. So this one is very distinct. Like, you take one screenshot of it, oh, that's from this one.
Well, who did Apocrypha again? I really like that one.
Fate Apocrypha. Man, I just forgot. That one had
one of the
look.
more.
This one's very similar to that, but just like more, I guess, thicker outline.
I see. And then there was, of course, Ufotable for the first two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so good. What else?
Other than that, doing really good. Goodness, I've been working a heck of a lot. Going to sleep later, waking up earlier.
How's the weather?
Hold on, let me get the weather report.
No. Just how is it?
Actually, the thing is, yesterday specifically, I opened the weather app. I looked at all the times throughout the day, and all the times throughout the day says, sun, sunny. Okay, all right. I leave the house, I go out the door, and there's like nothing but like thick overcast, and like literally rain in the distance. So I walk right back in, get a big jacket.
Oh
and
my
walk
god!
back
I mean, it's
out.
Hawaii, right? Like you can just come at any
I know,
time.
but like it shouldn't have affected me that much. Like, oh, okay, I guess I'll get a jacket. But the fact that the entire day was forecasted to be clear and sunny, and I look outside, there's not a single ray of sunshine.
Wait, even like in the city? Because like I remember like distinctly living in Honolulu and just like looking at the mountains, and there's just rain on the mountain, but like not in the city.
Well, but this was like the clouds are extended all the way to the city.
Oh,
I don't know like what part of that app that it was. I don't know what part of the island that app was looking at, but
just this one corner.
I'm over it.
just like
where the satellite dish is.
Yeah,
it's sunny on that
just
spot.
the west side. Just the Disney resort.
Yeah, where it matters.
Yeah, exactly. Where all the foreigners who come looking at the weather app actually go. Oh yeah, that's funny.
Where they look outside, it's sunny, but where everyone else who lives here looks out, it's like rainy. Even nature is such a classist. Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm doing. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I had a lot of voiceover stuff. Yesterday was a full day. I did, what's it called? Like I did the podcast interview with Tevat Historia about Honkai Star Rail this time. And then we
Parallels.
Yeah, Parallels. We did karaoke night in the Discord. And then we did, and I streamed yesterday. So really busy day yesterday. I'm kind of like, just resting today as much as I can. But I do have a new thing coming in today. So I have like my studio set up here, like with my computer and my like standing desk and all this stuff. And then I have a big bed in the room, and I'm staying at like my in-laws' place right now. So it's like they had this big bed in there already, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, but probably like I don't know, maybe like around another year or so, because I just moved to Canada and we're trying to figure out like what we want to do. And so like while I'm here, there was this huge bed, and it takes up like most of the room, and like it was kind of like just a guest bed. And so now they're letting me like kind of move it to a different room, and I'm getting a couch bed. So like I'm getting a couch that from IKEA that like turns into a bed, like it flattens. and it's gonna
so it
save
folds
me
up a
so
little.
much room. Yeah, because this room is like that bed took up like a chunk of this room, and I kind of felt kind of like squeezed into like a small space. So now that I have this room, I'll be able to like do some like moving around of my like desk, and also like I like to do like VR, like play VR stuff, but I haven't had any space in my room to play VR, so now I can do it for exercise, for fun, and yeah, I'm just glad to have some space. Also for my dog to like actually run around a little bit. It's really nice. So yeah, so I'm doing that today. After this podcast, I'm gonna go open up the couch bed thing, move the other bed, and like do all this stuff. So I'm excited to do that later. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been waiting for this for a couple months now, so I'm excited for that. So I'm doing pretty good. So let's get started with the rest of the podcast. And one thing I want to mention is that this is the 50th numbered episode. So we've had interlude episodes, like in between episodes where like we go out, and so we have to pre-record an episode ahead of time. But this is the 50th episode where we sit down, we talk about the news, we talk about our days and all this stuff, and it's a really big number. I know we recently just had the 1 year anniversary of our podcast, and our wonderful community celebrated it with us by making us a podcast episode. So if you want to see our reaction to that, check out our YouTube channel if you're not already on the YouTube channel, where we do have the reaction video on there. So and then feel free to join our Discord too, because that's where our community hangs out and talks and has fun with a lot of stuff. So we have a lot of cool things in store in the future, including a new segment today, which I'm really excited to introduce. But we're really grateful for all of you that are listening, for all of you that have helped us to support us with our content, and who just enjoy the game and are here to be positive about it and to talk with others who are also passionate about Genshin Impact. So thank you. Now, I'll introduce today's topics. Our first topic is, as always, our weeks in Genshin, and then we'll talk about Genshin news. And then the bulk of today's podcast will be our new segment called Ludicrous Lists, which I will mention when we get there, but it should be pretty fun. And then lastly, as always, we will do our community discussion question, followed by our last wish segment. Okay, so before we get started, just one more shout out for the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord if you haven't already. The link is in the description. And we also do a lot of stuff on there. We talk, we do camera contests, we talk about games. I stream and I post the notifications on there and all this stuff. It's really fun. Come and hang out with us if you get the chance. All right, so let's get started with our first segment, our weeks in Genshin. Alright, Kahi, how has your week in Genshin Impact been?
It's been really good, very productive. Progressing through the new patch story, a lot of stories. Been having some fun with some Eula teams, just because she's back into the limelight again. A really interesting team I want to share next podcast episode. I know we're gonna have a lot of topics to discuss this time around for the next month. I've also been just gathering some artifact sets, trying to make sure I'm prepared for some characters I want to build. Just the usual stuff, but spending most of my time in the new area. Just I don't want to miss any like potential puzzle or maybe some hidden NPC or something. I'm trying not to look up some other guides because I feel like I've been having more fun in the game when I discover something instead of following out. Oh, do this and this and this. Honestly, like I've been doing that for a little while for a lot of other stuff too, and even in my other games, I try not to look up anything because if I can figure it out, I mean, it's probably fine. I don't need a step by step.
Same.
But yeah, just really enjoying the new stuff. I know we're gonna talk about most of that in later episodes, so I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I've been having a lot of good fun. All my team slots are taken up. Like I have 10 teams, and I'm trying to figure out like which one am I using the least, and maybe I'll experiment and make a different one. But I realize I have been using Electro in like almost every team, so I have to really try to explore some other elements at some point. But yeah, that's just what
AKA Kuki Shinobu.
Yes, actually, Kuki's been in like a really great healer in a lot of my teams. I mean, Kokomi is really good as well, as she's a fantastic healer. But it was also like the same problem I had when Zhongli came out, because otherwise, like, if Zhongli's on the team, I don't have to worry about a healer at all. I can just phase tank everything. But and I'm trying to make sure that if I have like this many characters and like 10 team slots, I should actually give some other people a chance to shine, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's basically what I'm doing. What about you? Anything interesting, anything fun you've been doing in Genshin so far?
Well, I've also been exploring the new area, and I also got the Kaya outfit, which I'm really excited about. It's really cool.
Nice. I didn't get it yet, but I will be getting it soon.
Yes, I'm trying to explore 100% of the game and get all the side quests done before Fontaine, so I'm just slowly working on that on my Asia, my main account. And then, what's it called? So the new area, what's nice is, like, you know, you mentioned not having to look up a guide. I know a lot of people looked up guides so that they could get Kaya as soon as possible, but I just wanted to keep looking. It's really fun to discover a lot of the stuff yourself, like, I agree. And once you get to a certain point, they give you the little tool that, like, helps you detect treasure chests, like, in a certain area. And that by itself is fine. Like, that makes it fine to explore the new area. Like, it's very easy to explore the new area because you get this huge circle on your map, and it tells you if there's any treasure chests at all, and it shows you on the map where they are. So, you know, I wouldn't worry about getting a guide for this one specifically, like, because they give you that, and they want you to explore, and they want you to 100% it before the end of the event, which is like still another month. Yeah, so it's still another month though, so you have time if you haven't done it yet. But like you said, we are waiting to talk more about the event until maybe next week or the week after, but to give people some time to play through it and to explore it a little bit before we start talking about our thoughts. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing, exploring, trying to figure out what teams and what people I want to build up for Abyss. Ooh, okay, one thing, my mission. Triple Crown Aloy and make her very strong. That's my mission.
Oh, that was your like mission from how long ago were you working on that?
I was working on that for a while, and I did work on and get better artifacts for her, like much better artifacts for her. But I'm trying to make it so that she's actually really viable for damage and that she does like what she's supposed to do. I want a team that focuses around her, if possible. It's kind of hard. I know that her best thing is like just coming out, using her burst, and then leaving. Like, that's like her best thing. But I'm gonna see what I can do. But I've been working on it more recently because I've been actually like properly using my resin and like all this stuff. So we'll see where that goes, and hopefully in some future Spiral Abyss content you'll see me using Aloy. Which, by the way, the Spiral Abyss reset, so it's finally a different floor 11 and 12 than the last 3 cycles. Venti? I do have Venti, and yes, like I have
Venti and Aloy sounds like a really good team.
Yeah, I have another Venti team that I'm gonna use though, with Tanari and Yai Miko. So I'm really excited to do that as well. I'm trying to get Tanari to 90 right now. But yes, there are lots of fun things to do in Genshin right now. Part of me wants to also do TCG. There is a new TCG event going on, which I'll mention in a second as well. And yeah, it's just Genshin's great right now. Like, actually, I'm totally fine not playing other games. Like not focusing really hard on other games. Like, I sign in to Honkai for dailies and all this stuff, but Genshin has a lot going on, and it gets more fun the more you look into your own account, honestly. So yeah, so that's it for our weeks in Genshin. Let's move on to Genshin news. Okay, so for Genshin news, as always, we talk about birthdays first. So we had 2 birthdays this past week. Kujo Sara on July 13th and Hu Tao on July 14th. So they are 2 pretty cool characters. I think they're pretty great. I think Kujo Sara goes largely underappreciated in general because of just like how her abilities and stuff work. But Hu Tao is very, very appreciated. It is, as it was very obvious in the last Hoyo fair. Lots of fan art about Hu Tao.
I'd say the most.
Yeah, she's up there. She's very up there. Yeah. Like she's been in crossover event things, like where they do the advertising, where they like dress her up in like, you know, fast food outfits. And And like, yeah, she's used a lot in the game. She's fun. She's really great, really fun to play, very satisfying, and really cool design. So Hoyoverse at Gamescom 2023 was announced as well. So anybody that's going to that event, they will have a booth there. Most likely they will have the Astral Express there, and you could probably play Zenless Zone Zero. Man, I'm so like, I wish I could have done that, but yeah. Well, anyway, I'll just wait for the game.
Anytime now, that game will come out anytime.
I know, they're probably just gonna shadow drop it one day. Let's see, Hoyoverse 2023 fan art contest from July 13th to July 27th. So check out their Twitter for more information. And then also the Genius Invocation TCG event, Heated Battle Mode Omnipotent Guide. It starts on July 15th, which I believe just started, and until July 24th, so about a week. And this mode is the mode where, like, Heated Battle Mode is where you all of your dice are omnipotent, are omni elemental dice, so you can use all your cards. So you're just playing the cards, not the dice. You're using the dice for like managing your abilities and like how much skills and attacks and stuff, and card effects you can use, but you don't have to worry about elements. So it does feel like a totally different game, but it's really fun. I like it. It's like one less thing to worry about, and you can think about the cards themselves. So we have so that's basically all the news we have for this week. And yeah, we're looking out for more. Obviously, we're gonna have the like live streams and stuff, but like Fontaine's coming up soon, so I'm hoping that they'll give us more little tidbits and little fun things to look forward to through their Twitter account as the next couple weeks go by. So we will keep you updated if you are not regularly checking Hoyoverse social media. We got you. Okay, so our main segment of the day is actually our newest segment of the podcast. Welcome to Ludicrous Lists. So in this segment, Kahi and I will both create our own tier lists simultaneously and explain our reasoning for why we tier characters according to ludicrous topics. We'll go through all the current playable characters in Genshin. Feel free to join our Ludicrous List section of our Discord so that you can share your own lists as well as see our visual tier list charts. Now, today's topic, road trip viability. So while we are talking about this, Kahi and I will be using the tier list making website, and we will both be creating our tier list at the same time. Now, our topic of the day is road trip viability. So Kahi, tell us what exactly road trip viability is.
All right, so for road trip, this is something that some people in certain different countries, maybe they treat it a little bit differently. Maybe they view it as like a big event, not small event, or maybe their means of travel is different. So essentially, this is going on an adventure of some sort, an expedition, traveling to a very far away place to do potentially some camping, doing some outdoor activities, but the majority of this trip is going to be the journey to the place, to the destination. So, of course,
usually in a motor vehicle.
Usually in a motor vehicle, yes.
So, like, imagine driving halfway across the country, like, from one side of America to the other side. Like, we always call that a road trip. You know, we're going on a road trip. And so, like Kahi said, maybe it's different in some countries, but that's kind of the idea we're going for. You're kind of stuck in a car with these people for a really long time, or a train or whatever, and you stop every once in a while, you know, for rest stops to like see some of landmarks or things that are passing by, but you are basically stuck with these people for a really long time in a car. So
typically in a group too. It's not just going to be you and this one character. However, in this context, obviously some characters would be great in a group of other characters, but we're going to go one at a time. So imagine if it is just you and this one other character, one other current playable character, not future characters, only the ones that have been currently released in the game. You and this one character on a road trip. Who would be the best? Who would be most suited? Who would be the most viable for this road trip? So, we're gonna go into specific order. You want to go alphabetical?
We'll just go according to the list on this website. So we'll just like go down the character list, right? Which is like mostly alphabetical, but I think the traveler's in the front.
Gotcha. So Josh will introduce the character first. And I guess he'll introduce where he would place him, or her, or whoever and then I'll go, and then we'll give our brief reasoning. Obviously, there's a lot of characters, so we don't want to take too much time, but some are going to have a really obvious placement answer. Some are going to have a very nuanced,
for each of us,
very personal, opinionated,
exactly
personalized list. So, Josh, who is the first up?
So the first character we have here to sort is male traveler. Okay, Aether. So Aether, I personally think Aether would be like okay, so Aether for me is like old Aether is a little different from current Aether. Now the current traveler is like much more sassy and funny than like originally. Before they would just never talk. Like they were just like Paimon was talking all the time. But now I feel like Aether would be pretty funny, and obviously Aether has traveled before and is always down to see new sights and to do interesting
traveler
things.
Of course. Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's a traveler.
It's a traveler.
This is a trip where we are traveling. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Aether on A tier. That A for Aether tier. What about you, Kahi?
I would definitely put Aether at the S tier.
Ooh, S tier. BFFs.
So, sorry, there's a little bit of noise back there. So yes, Aether is in the S tier. So a couple reasons. Viable in every situation. So tire breaks down. I'm pretty sure Aether is strong enough to help with that. Aether would probably be a good, fun conversation.
Kahi, I'm strong enough to help with the tire if the tire breaks down.
Yeah, Aether would definitely be viable in pretty much any problem along the road. Pretty decent conversation. Obviously would love to see all the sights because he's been traveling all over with us this entire time. Yeah, I can't think of a situation where he'd be bad. And I also don't think he is like, yeah, he's not deficient in any situation. He's very versatile. He knows how to solve puzzles. He has the ability to change elements.
That's your criteria for S tier though? Like, well, I feel like he would be kind of boring. Like a little boring. Like, don't you think? As a road trip partner? Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, he's useful, but like,
well, then
you're sitting in a car with him.
Like, true, but like, we don't want to look at it as just, oh, how good of a conversation are they? Like, what if things happen along the way?
Right.
Like,
but considering both, I feel like Aether's very lacking in the entertainment. You know, I mean,
well, if they're gonna be driving, if I'm gonna be driving, either way, I don't want someone who's like overly distracting either.
I guess so. Okay, yeah.
We knew this was gonna be very polarizing.
Yeah. No, it's just so funny. You're like, yeah, he's useful. He's like a big, strong man.
Yeah. Every situation's. I would put him in S.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So I mean, we have to have different tiers.
No matter what, upper half. Oh
yeah, 100%. Agreed. Upper half. Agreed.
So next up we have Albedo. So Albedo, I would definitely put Albedo around I would say around B. So Albedo doesn't really do like a lot of heavy lifting. He, of course, very quiet. He's probably gonna be drawing the entire time. I mean, when we get to the destination, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna help set up? Probably, but he's a very reclusive, secluded person. I don't feel like he'd be necessary on a road trip either, because I'm sure other people would love to go on trips. He'd probably like to stay on his own doing some experiments or his own little projects. So, but he's not a bad character. He's not C or D, but he's definitely not A or S. It's not someone who you'd be looking forward to bringing along. Just, if you're available, sure. What do you think?
I actually completely agree. So, I think it'd be really, but slightly different reasoning. But like, I enjoy philosophical conversations, and we know that from the what's it called, the Windbloom event, that like Albedo does think jokes are funny and like does have a sense of humor and stuff like that, but you can't read it off of him. So like, I feel like that would become exhausting to me after a while. So, and he's quiet enough so that he's not distracting, and he's understanding that like if you said like, hey, I just want to focus on driving, or like, I'm gonna fall asleep or whatever, he wouldn't really mind. And then like he can make stuff out of Geo, so like that's pretty cool. But like yeah, I don't know about he's not like overly. I wouldn't be overly excited to like be going on a road trip with Albedo, but I also wouldn't mind being in a road trip with Albedo, which is kind of where I also land on the middle of the spectrum sort of deal. So agreed. Okay, so next will be Amber. So Amber, I think Amber's pretty cool. I don't know. I think I would put Amber at maybe S tier. I don't know. I like Amber's personality. Like she's obviously adventurous. She's very nice. She's knowledgeable. So as an outrider, I definitely would appreciate having her on a road trip for many reasons. What about you?
100% agree. Very adventurous, very fun. She'll be like just as excited to go on this trip, and very like knowledgeable, and she'd probably bring some books. She'd probably have some kind of manual for what to do in this situation, because she in her handbook.
But then she would accidentally bring a storybook instead.
Hey, that would be fine too. But it's just that's the kind of personality
you remember that?
You also want on a trip.
Do you remember that?
Oh wait, what is this event that you're talking about?
No, in the beginning, it's like because I've replayed the game already at the beginning a bunch of times, right? Like I have like 4 different accounts, and when you go, Amber's like, here, this book is like to teach you how to do your gliding license for the exam, and then like she gives you a storybook instead, and you read it, and then Paimon's like, what the heck? That was like a storybook. This is an exam book, and she's like, oh my god, I gave you the wrong book by accident.
Oh.
That's like,
I think I remember that now.
It's like, huh? Okay. Anyway, it was really funny. But okay, yeah, I know Amber would be great for sure.
All right, so next up we have Ayaka. So Ayaka, I would definitely place at around the A.
A for Ayaka.
Definitely not S. A for Ayaka. Yeah, it makes sense. She's of course top half. You definitely want Ayaka in the group. However, she's not good in every situation. She may not be able to help out so much with like manual labor or changing a tire or helping.
That's what you're for.
She's still.
Wait a second. She's probably stronger than you.
But could she drive? No.
True.
So, could she help take over some responsibilities if something were to happen to me? Maybe I get sick, or maybe something happens during the camp. Maybe when we get there. She's definitely very pleasant. She's above.
She could cryo freeze your body into stasis until help came. Until real help came.
Or she could just knock me out for the whole trip, and then when I get up, she just thaw me out.
Oh, wait, that works.
But yeah, Ayaka is an A, not an S, because she isn't perfect in every situation, but definitely above Albedo, above B, because you do look forward to having her in the car or in the group.
You do.
What about you? That's for me.
Actually, yeah, I agree. Ayaka, A for Ayaka. Like, I think she's great, but there's not. I don't know, unless you're like you just really like Ayaka, like and this is like as yourself. I mean, if we're talking like Traveler is driving and Ayaka's there, I was like S tier all the way. Those two should be in a car. Those two should be in a car. But no, for me, being with Ayaka in a car, I'd be like, yeah, it'd be cool, I guess. Not like overly cool, but like she's really nice, and I'm sure she would be willing to learn a lot about the road trip. So yeah, A tier for me too. So next is Barbara, who I put at S tier, because Barbara, you can karaoke with her in the car. She'll heal you if you need water. Like she's great. Like I think
that is a good point.
Yeah,
that is a very good point for water.
Yeah, I think she has a lot going for her, and she's great to have around. She like actually lights up the room. So I mean, I think S tier. What about you?
I put her in S tier just because of that thing you just said. Like, oh right, water. That's a very important thing on a trip.
Yeah,
I mean, I can make ice, but it's not as useful as just the water itself. Yeah, very useful situations. Good healing, good entertainment, good conversation. She's very positive, just like Amber. Yeah, definitely S tier. Next up, we have Beidou. I'm assuming you know exactly where Beidou is going to go into my tier list. So
yes,
do I need
D.
to say it? S tier. For many reasons. Obviously, she's great conversation. She's fun. Obviously can handle a lot of the other responsibilities that comes up. Or
she can drink while you
solve
drive.
Problems. If we get attacked by a bear, she can just like kill the bear instantly. If we get to a certain spot, she's probably going to be just as, entertained by all the new sights, because, she's on a boat and she loves sailing to new lands. So she kind of knows her way around just general navigation and direction. Yeah, S tier overall. What about you?
I think S tier too, just because like she's like a really fun conversationalist. Like she has stories to tell. And like,
oh, yeah.
So for me,
sea shanties.
Clearly I'm noticing that like a lot of what you're basing your factors off of is like, what's it called? Like practicality and like what things they can do and
very
like,
practically.
What do they bring to the trip?
Come on, it's a road trip.
It is, but for me, I don't mind doing the road trip stuff. I want to be entertained and have good conversation and have like, I want to keep motivated to keep driving, for example. You know what I mean? Because it's tough. Like I don't think you've never done a road trip, right? Like you've never like driven on a road trip.
No.
It's exhausting.
The most I've been in a car is like an hour. That's like the most.
Jeez. Okay. Yes, it is exhausting. I have done from New York to California road trip with my family. I've driven myself from Florida to New York. Like I've drove multiple hours to like Disney World from Miami like many times. So I've done a lot of driving in my life, and so for me, I don't mind driving. I'm actually quite good at driving. I just get tired and exhausted and bored when I'm driving for a really long time. So for me, road trip viability means they are able to keep me entertained and motivated to keep going on the road trip, and less about like what happens in case of an emergency, because I've had enough of those to know what to do in those situations. So that's not what I'm looking for.
I mean, if it is just you and the character, I mean, if something happens to you, who can get you home? True,
but like what's it called? But if something happens to them, like I can get them home. So, but this is why it's different, right? Because like I have different experience with road trips than you do. So, it's a different dynamic. But yeah, S tier Beto, agreed. Now for this next one, Bennett. Now I have a separate tier for him below D. Called "Do you want your car to break down?"
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm sorry,
Bennett,
best boy.
All the way to the bottom. Maybe in a different tier list you will shine, Bennett, but this is not the one for you. This is like where you don't want things to go wrong. Yeah, bad luck. Oh no, thanks. No, thank you.
He'd get lost. He'd get trapped in a dungeon randomly. The car will break down, the rock will fly through the windshield and hit you.
I can't even like imagine the terrible things that might happen if Bennett was on a road trip with you. Okay, you can get the next one.
Okay, Chong Yun. So Chong Yun, it's not a D, but I'm gonna say C. Not because it's Chong Yun, but like the thing is, Chong Yun. Would I look forward to bringing Chong Yun on the trip at all? So probably not. So it's already in like the lower half. Not the worst, so definitely above the worst. So C. Chong Yun, I mean, doesn't sound like a good conversation. Doesn't sound like he'd be interested in traveling all over the place. He's probably got duties back at home, so he's probably going to be having his mind back at wherever he is supposed to be. Doesn't seem like much of a traveler either, so I mean, he could probably help out here and there with some of the tasks. Maybe he'd probably enjoy the destination if the destination interests him at all. But yeah, I'm gonna say C.
Okay, for me, also C. Like C for Chung Yoon, first of all. Second of all, no, I think he seems like a nice guy. I just don't know much about him. There's not much story. Okay, wait. For context, I have not done his hangout. I do not know much about him.
Mm-hmm.
So at this moment, I can only place him at C based off of what I know about him from playing as him and from seeing him in the main story. Yeah.
But
I mean, I like ice cream. I'm down to go eat ice cream with Chung Yoon, but like a road trip, I don't know.
Everything will melt on the trip.
Yeah, a road trip would be like kind of long time. So all right. So next is D-Look. Maybe D for me. Maybe D for D-Look.
Yep.
Because like I said, boring. Like he would not me and him would probably not vibe so much. Like he would probably be really quiet. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So I mean, just I don't know. I like D-Luke as a character. Don't get me wrong. Like he's cool and stuff, and I'll play as him. But like I don't want to be on a road trip with him. Probably. Yeah, I know people that would probably, but I don't. So D for D-Luke.
Next up we have Diona. Okay, Diona, unfortunately, I'm not gonna say I look forward to bringing Diona on a trip. But she wouldn't be the worst because she can actually make, beverages, and she's beverages out of whatever she can find out there in nature, and they would actually be really good. Can't really do much else as far as like handling tasks. She probably couldn't drive because of how short she is. So I'm gonna say C, not the worst, but not something I would say is a good road trip buddy. What do you think?
For me, D for Diona. But also, Diona is like kind of, to me, like a spoiled brat kind of kid, and I don't want to listen to that
brat.
Driving a long time in a road trip, Also, I'm allergic to cats, so
no.
There's many reasons I would put Diona at the bottom. And then when I say bottom, I mean above Bennett, because Bennett is at the very bottom. But yes, Diona is D for me. Next is Fischl. Fischl, I would probably put A, because Fischl, I love Fischl. She's cool. I love her like Chuny Bionis, like her like fantasy world talk and stuff. But again, I think after a long time it would get kind of exhausting. I could definitely handle it for a few hours, but then after that it's just like, okay, can we just talk normally now? Amy,
yep.
You know what I mean? Like, oh man. So yeah, so A for Amy for me. I think she'd be fun, and I would like enjoy to hang out with her, but maybe I would get tired at some point. But it kind of depends on how the conversation goes, I guess.
I'm putting her at D. Not very useful on a trip. Again, you bring up the point, the longer the trip goes on, the less entertaining it gets.
She has a bird.
She's not going to contribute
that can
much.
See how far away traffic is, to scour for rivers if you get lost, to send help. The bird talks, so he can go out and tell people, hey, we're stuck, we need help. Basically a cell phone.
What is the bird's name? I completely forgot. Oz, right, we're saying. Yeah, Oz would be a good companion on the trip.
Oz S.
Not Fischl.
Fischl D.
Oz, totally. Fischl D, yes. I'm sorry. That's where I'm going. She's just going to stay down there with Bennett. I'm sure they'll have a wonderful time back at home.
Oh my god.
Next up, we have Ganyu. So, Ganyu, I would probably put at C. Again, doesn't seem like much of a traveler. Doesn't seem very, physically adept. She's probably a little bit too timid to be going into places unknown. She kind of likes being in her own little space. She does, know how to. Okay, what is it? What does she does? She eats flowers, so we don't have to worry about like finding and scavenging for food if we're ever out there.
Sure.
If a car breaks down, like could we kind of like make tent for the night and then figure out what we're gonna do? And she probably could. She grew up in like the Jingsa Mountains. With Hulao and like all the Adeptus. So I'm sure she knows how to find her way around unknown territories. Oh, okay, maybe not C. Maybe I'll put her at B. She could definitely do well out there on the trip, on the road, and in unknown areas. Not someone I would look forward to, but definitely not in the lower tier. So I'll put her at B. What about you?
For me, I would also put her at C. I would put her at C because, like, I think for planning the trip and stuff, she'd be great. Like, she does clerical work and stuff. I'm sure she has a lot of experience. But on the trip, you're talking about like camping and stuff. Like, if camping was like the main thing, yeah, maybe sure she'd be great because she grew up on the mountains. But if we do road trip, like getting from place A to B, mostly being in a car, only getting out sometimes, like, I feel like Ganyu wouldn't be much of a conversation. I think she would be like, it would be mostly you teaching her stuff, which I'm like okay with. She stands out a lot, so that draws a lot of attention. just with her horns and her outfit and whatnot. But yeah, I think for me, she's cool. I like Ganyu, but I don't know if I would want to be in a road trip with her. So next is Hu Tao, which is like S rank for sure. I love Hu Tao. So yeah, she's funny. She raps. But I'll just say right now, I will mostly put musicians near the top because they're entertaining and they're fun. And so Hu Tao, I think, would be super fun to talk to. Only thing I'd be concerned with is like her telling me about ghosts that are standing around us. That's kind of creepy. But like other than that, totally, I think it'd be really fun to be in a car with Hu Tao for a long time. What about you, Kai?
I'm putting her at C.
Ooh.
I'm putting her at C. She's on the lower half because, one, she's going to spoil all my food. She will ruin all the food, and I cannot afford that. However, she's not the worst because she's, again, very entertaining. And if anything were to happen to me, I know that she would be able to take care of, like, all the
take care of your spirit to the afterlife, right? Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
So if anything happened on the trip, she would be able to ferry me back to, like, some place where it's actually better than just being out there in the wilderness. She'd make sure that my soul is taken care of. So C, not the worst, but definitely not the best. I do not want anything to happen to any of our supplies on the trip.
Wait, what? So why are your food get spoiled again?
That's what she does when she cooks.
Oh, well, don't let her cook, man. Don't let her cook.
Any potential.
Don't let her cook.
No.
Okay.
I'm not anywhere near the snacks either. She's gonna get hungry. She's gonna start.
Look, if cooking is your criteria, then you're gonna have to kick out like half this cast, like Raiden, Shogun, Ayato. Like...
I know we're gonna get there.
Okay, so
next up we have Jean.
Jean. Okay.
I am putting Jean at S tier because she can handle everything on the trip just as much as I can. So she's basically a duplicate. Fun conversationalist. She's not dreary. She's not boring. And she definitely could use the vacation time. Obviously, we know she's the overworked, like, leader of the Favonius Knights. So she'd definitely be looking forward to this. I mean, she may be even a little bit hesitant, but she definitely benefits from being on a trip like this. I'm putting her at S. Everything, every situation, she's a person that you definitely want in the road trip. What about you?
Yeah, so I'll put her at B. Because I don't, like, first of all, conversationalist, I don't feel like I would have that fun conversations with Jean. Like, she's nice.
Well, how often have you spent time with Jean?
In the game, a lot. But, like, as far as, like, am I going to be sitting in the car?
She's always working.
Yeah, well, true. But, like, I mean, like, I used her a lot. And, yes, I agree. She needs a vacation. But that's not going to add to my road trip viability criteria in any sort of way. So I feel like, Jean would be kind of stiff. And, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if it was just me and Jean, be kind of like, I would get bored of the conversation after a while. Like, we don't have a lot of interests that seem to overlap, and I have an assumption that she'll be worried about what's happening in Mondstadt for a while. So a lot of the conversation will kind of be around that, and I'm not really excited for that. So yeah. So Jean is B for me. So next we have Kaya. Kaya would be, I think, A for me. Like, Kaya's not like the coolest, like, ever, like, I want to be on a road trip with this guy kind of guy, but he also has, like, a lot of street smarts. He
Yep.
If you're stuck on an island, he can ice bridge you out.
It's true.
No, well, like, he obviously can't drive. He has an eye patch. I'm just kidding. You can definitely technically drive when you have an eye patch. But he, I don't know. He's cool. He's a talker, like, for sure. I'm sure he has fun stories, and he has a nice voice, so it's easy to, like, talk to him for a long time. So I'll put him at A. What about you?
Yeah, the street smarts is definitely one thing that I do appreciate, because he's probably been to certain areas that I haven't even heard of, or probably didn't even assume that he was in before. But Kaya has gotten around a lot, so he's probably secretly a very good navigator of some sort. He definitely has enough intuition and instinct to carry us through situations that I'm not prepared for. He can take over some responsibilities if I need to. And yeah, he's not the absolute best. He's not like the best person on the trip, at least for me. But decent conversationalist. Someone I would definitely, not the first person I would think of, but once his name pops up, I would then say, oh yeah, he would do good. So above B, because it's not like I would be hesitant to bring him along, but yeah, if mentioned, A. Okay. Now, as far as next one, Kaching. I would have to put Kaching right next to Ganyu. Very rough, sharp personality. I mean, I know there's some tsundere characters that are great. I mean, I watch anime. You watch anime. You know
I know. I know.
It's not like, not absolute worst, but she could get around. She
could be exhausting to talk to her.
It could be, yeah. I mean, her and Ganyu are very, very similar. They're in the same position, actually.
Yeah, I agree. So, I totally agree. I'll just say right now, because like that same sentiment. Like they're the workaholics. They're the tsundere-ish. Well, she's tsundere, but like her whole thing is like I don't know. She's not interesting. she's like the overworked trope. Like both of them are like the same.
I prefer not to be here kind of thing.
Yeah, like there's better things I could be doing. I need to be more productive with my time. Like, so I feel like again, like Jean, the conversation would come back to like work. And so yeah, I think for me she's in the same place as Ganyu as well. C.
Alright, next up, do you want to introduce the next one?
Oh yeah. Klee. Man, I'm almost debating about putting her next to Bennett in the "Do you want your car to break down" section, but I'll put her in D, which is like the next one above that, because Bombs, she's a little girl, she's adorable, but like, it's like are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like I feel like she would be like that. So I kind of don't want Klee to be in a car with me for an extended period of time. What about you?
I put her in A.
Ooh.
So not the absolute best.
Fish blasting.
Definitely not the absolute worst. A person that you want on a road trip. I mean, there's a purpose of the road trip. Like, who?
Person you would want.
Like, yeah. I mean, Klee wants to be like adventurous, wants to go all over the place, and that's definitely a person that you would bring along for a trip because that would be the reason for the trip.
Good point. Good point.
You're definitely gonna want someone like Klee as well, because you know for a fact Alice is gonna be watching you. So you know for a fact
that's a good one. I didn't even think about that.
The entire world is going to be revolved around Klee's entertainment, Klee's enjoyment. You are protected.
Oh my god, that's
nothing's gonna happen.
Funny. That's so
However, Klee herself can't really do much during the trip, so you are gonna have to take care of a lot of stuff. So like,
Klee,
A, not S, but A.
So
very,
Alice
very
S
high
tier.
A.
Got it.
Yes, Alice tier. Next up we have Lisa. Definitely putting Lisa in S. Can handle pretty much everything. Great conversationalist. Definitely gonna be telling me a bunch of stuff, showing me a bunch of things I've never seen before. Knows her way around teas, so she can prepare some drinks. She knows her way around like herbs. She's very, very smart. Very, very high tier academia. What is it? Academia alumni. Yeah, I can't think of a situation where she'd be bad. I mean, she's still pretty strong too. So, yeah, S tier definitely. What about you?
For me, A tier. I don't know about like having so much. Like she's great. I definitely agree with a lot of the points you're making. I mean, she's knowledgeable, has stories. But like, I don't know. Like I feel like we're not that compatible in terms of like interests. Like she, maybe if we had a conversation about a really good book or something, but I feel like maybe I would get sort of like I would run out of topics to talk about with her after a pretty short amount of time. I don't know, it's just the vibe I get. Like I like Lisa, I just think that maybe wouldn't vibe as much as I would want to as being someone in a road trip in the car with you for a long time. So I'm taking a lot of these from the perspective of I'm the one driving. Like, so I don't know what kind of conversations would I have with Lisa. Literally no idea. So I think I'm gonna put her at A tier because I think it'd be great. I just don't know how great it would be and for how long.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next we have Lumine, so female traveler. I don't have female traveler. I'm just gonna put her next to male traveler. But like I would assume that she's kind of like either in that, in a lot of that senses. If we're going by, if we were going by the Abyss sibling, who is the opposite of my playable character, then I'd be like, D. I don't want her to be.
Absolutely.
So
D.
if we're going that way, sure, I'll put her in D. Just to my playable character is A there. So, so Lumine to me is this like traitor of sorts. My sibling. I don't really want her to be. I should put her. So I have a tier of Bennett that says, "Do you want your car to break down?" I should make another one that says, "Do you want your life to break down?" And just put Lumine in there. No, I'm just kidding. What about you? I'll put her in D.
I put her in D. One, the Abyss Order is going to be running after her and you.
You use Aether,
I don't want
right?
anyone. I use Aether.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
I don't want any Abyss Lectors. I don't want any Abyss enemy to pop out in the middle of nowhere when I'm trying to just have a nice conversation. When I'm trying to just get to this destination on this road trip and have this constant threat looming over me. So I'm just gonna keep her in D. I don't have to deal with it. Plus, even if the Abyss Order isn't here, she's just gonna run off on her own and we're never gonna be able to find her again.
True.
We literally have gone through the entire world and haven't found her.
Right.
So, yeah, not really a good road trip buddy. But the next road trip buddy, Mona, I would definitely put Mona up there with. Okay, I want to put her in S, but I know there's gonna be maybe one or two situations where she isn't perfect for, so I'm gonna put her in A.
Dang, the criteria though.
Oh,
you're not perfect.
I have Barbara.
A tier.
I have Barbara in S. I'm gonna put her in S. No, because
water.
Astrology for navigation. She excels at night. Water. She's smart, of course. She's a writer, so obviously she has a high intellect. We can definitely talk about.
So when you die,
stuff,
she can write about it very clearly.
She does have money, but she is horrible at spending it. And when we're on the road trip, I'm sure there's not a lot of opportunities to spend it anyway. So I'm sure she's gonna spend it on the right things when we make a stop.
She sees like a telescope thing, and she's like, "I want that, $500." Boom.
Oh, great. Well, I mean, at least when we, even if she buys a telescope, at least when we get to the destination, we can use the telescope and look around.
Good point.
Or at least we can navigate with that. She's like Beto. She's a good navigator. I mean, not like direction navigator, but astrological interpretation.
So you put her in S?
So we know, I would put her in S.
Okay.
She really would have a good chance at making good decisions and turns. Just because of her ability.
I'll put her in A. I like her. I think she'd be great to talk to. I think she'd be really interesting to talk to. But I don't know. I feel like she's not and this is clearly different from my in-game taste. I'm really thinking road trip style. I don't know if me and Mona would be S tier road trip. It would be pretty good, but I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna put her in A for now, and that's just kind of how I feel based off of what I know about her and how much I've used her. So Mona. So okay, so Ningguang. Oh man, I'm gonna have to say C or B. No, I'm gonna say B. Because Ningguang is cool. Ningguang knows a lot of stuff. Ningguang is gonna be probably really difficult to deal with when it comes to accommodation, but I feel like she would be open to interesting conversations. I feel like she knows a lot and she could teach me stuff. I feel like I don't know, she's pretty personable. I know she gets the rich person vibe sort of, but seeing the way she interacts with the traveler or even other people, I think it'd be really interesting to be on a road trip with her, but I wouldn't be excited to be on a road trip with her, which is why I'm putting her on B. But she could easily go to C for me, but I think I'll put B for her. What about you?
S for a couple of reasons.
Oh.
I did her hangouts. She has a very humble upbringing. She knows how to fish.
Oh,
she
true.
knows how to have actual survival skills.
That's true.
She's a great negotiator, so if we ever meet some ruffians, or if we ever meet someone who's trying to haggle us for money, she could renegotiate back, and she'd get us, get the deal in our favor. She's smart. She can definitely find her way through new situations, new regulations and stuff. So I mean, she is. I feel she will be a good conversation because there's a lot you can learn from her. A lot of the people that I asked, like, you can learn a lot from them. They have a lot of knowledge they can share. They have specialties, so I'm sure like I could have a conversation with her as well. She could probably show me more stuff than I know. But just because she does also have the survival skills,
right?
Fishing's kind of a big thing. Yeah, I would put her in S because in every situation I can think of, she's actually really good. She's very viable, and I would look forward to hanging out with Ningguang. So yeah, that's me. But next up, we have the other Geo character, Noelle, and I would also put her at S tier because very reliable.
Agreed.
Would look forward to going on the trip with you, obviously. Yeah, strong, determined, fun conversationalist.
Yeah, you can talk about romance novels.
Same thing.
Yeah, she's great. I also put S, like, for same reasons. Like, there's nothing bad about Noelle. Like, she is obviously not used in the game because of gameplay reasons for a lot of people, but at the same time, she's a great character. Like, she's pretty solid, this kind of character. So I think she'd be great to have on a road trip as well. Chi-Chi, D. I don't want Chi-Chi anywhere near my road trip. Like, she is, it would take a very long time to talk to her. She also doesn't know a lot of things. I'm pretty sure she forgets things very quickly. She's undead, so that's a thing. And I feel like it would be harder to go on a road trip with Chi-Chi than without Chi-Chi. What about you?
Definitely not a character I look forward to bringing. Definitely not a character that should be on the road trip. However, not the absolute worst. 1, she's a healer. 2, she knows herbs, so she knows.
Oh, a good point. Good point.
She learns under Baiju.
The practicality.
So she's still in like lower tier because I wouldn't look forward to bringing her. She really shouldn't be out here.
What are you doing here,
Chi-Chi?
Chi-Chi?
B. Yes,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't put her at B. She's not supposed to be here.
Uh-huh.
She's not as useful other than that. So I mean, Albedo, Ganyu, Kaching would be more useful than Chi-Chi in that regard. And yeah, like you said, not a really good conversationalist. So I'm gonna keep her at C. Not the worst, but definitely not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Razor, however, I would put Razor at B. He has great survival skills, obviously, but not gonna say a word. Not gonna really like where we're going. Is gonna be constantly sniffing around for wolves and for like whatever else. It's not a character I look forward to. So B.
So B? Wow. For those same reasons, I put him at D. Especially because he doesn't talk. Or doesn't talk.
Well, I mean, as far as road trip viability, imagine like you were by yourself and then suddenly you came across Razor and you have no idea where to go. Would you want Razor in your team?
Wait, what? Like, if I'm in a car? No, it doesn't matter if Razor's in my team. If I'm in the middle of the woods, sure. I'm not. This isn't a camping viability. This is a road trip viability. So, if there was an emergency situation, I wouldn't have. Even if I ran into Razor, I'd just be like, "Oh, cool, look, a wolf boy," and then I would just move on with my life.
Okay, well, I'll put him at B because he definitely would have uses out in the outdoor space.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. So then Sucrose. Yeah, so Sucrose. Oh man, Sucrose. I think I'll put Sucrose at C because Animo power always useful. But like Sucrose, I think could be really interesting conversation. But I also can't help but feel like she would try to do experiments in the car, and also where we're going, like almost obsessively, and that would maybe not be good for either of us. So, and I don't have a vision. So, yeah, I think maybe I'll put her at C. What about you?
I want to put her at B or A just because, knowledgeable. Just because she's already been outdoors. She does a lot of field work and experiments. She's not always indoors, but she's kind of out there with Albedo. If I had to pick between Albedo or Sucrose to go on a road trip, I know Albedo probably wouldn't want to go anyways. Probably Sucrose. I want to put her at A, but would I look forward to bringing Sucrose on a road trip? Honestly, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna put her at A. Not the best. She's not good in every situation, but will still kind of carry along. This is a good support. Animal, wind, is very useful because it's always present. It's always everywhere. Yeah, I'm gonna put her at A just for personal reasons. Next up we have Child, Tartaglia. I'm gonna put Child at D. Cannot trust him at all. He's fun, but I'm not gonna bring him on a road trip. He is probably not gonna be the best companion on a road trip, at least for me. What about you?
A. So for me, okay, so first of all, I think about him and his relationship with his brother, and so how he's caring. And I mean, I'm not his brother, but he knows how to do it, to be caring. And he has a lot of money. So if something happened where we needed money, he would have it because he seemingly has unlimited money. And he's very strong. So if something happened, of course, he would be there to do fighting things. But also he just seems like a fun guy to jab at words with because of the way he talks. And yeah, I don't know. I think he'd be fun. He's he kind of reminds me of some friends I have, which is why. Obviously without the Fatui Harbinger undertones, because really even though we meet him as a Harbinger, he doesn't really act like one most of the time. So it's kind of weird to think that he is technically in the bad guy side, but he's kind of your friend anyway. So minus the bad guy vibes, which I don't think I would get on a road trip, because we're not there with any motives for anything that has to do with the Tsaritsa. I can't even imagine a road trip where we would be. So I feel if it's a normal road trip, Child himself would be a cool person. So
okay, I'll put him at C because you bring in some good points, but definitely not a character I'd be looking forward to.
Also, he has water.
Bringing on a trip. Yeah, okay, I'll put him at C. He's not the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get what you mean though about your not vibing with him, but for me, I think I would vibe with Child. So yeah, so the next one is Venti. S tier. Venti is so entertaining and always has something. Wind powers, is a god. What more do you want in a road trip buddy? A god road trip buddy who controls wind. Come on. What about you?
I put him at A. He's probably...
What's holding him back from S tier for you?
Okay. I feel like he would drink everything before I get the chance to.
Good point.
And that is not fair. I would love to have a refreshment myself. Knowing him,
he'll drink it and he'll be like,
he's gonna drink it. Because if I'm driving, I have no way to stop him.
Right, that's true.
I can just pull over and be like, dude, at least save something for me. He's a god. What is he gonna care about what I think? So A, he would have been S if he wasn't a drunk.
I see. That's a valid point.
And next up, Xiangling. S tier.
100%. S tier.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Because she carries a god with her.
Yep.
So you always have someone who can start fires.
And
cooks,
cooking.
Food.
Yeah.
Cheerful, energetic, is already a scavenger, knows how to get around.
Knows how to hunt boars in the wild. Yep, S tier. Oh yeah, so then next is Xiao. Oh, Xiao. Sorry, bro. I think I'm gonna put Xiao in D. I don't want Xiao in a road trip. He doesn't want to be there. No. Just let the man rest.
Not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
He barely talks to you.
He'll just complain. He'll just be like, I just remembered something really terrible. Or whatever he says. Lament and all this stuff.
He'll just disappear.
We're just like your car breaks down and he just goes, lament.
Ooh, okay, hold on. You can put him at D, but I'm gonna put him at C because if your car breaks down, you can be in the middle of nowhere. You call his name, he shows up. It's like AAA.
No, because that only, I'm pretty sure that only works in Leeway.
Okay, fine. But
if you're in a road trip in Leeway, sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I remember reading recently somewhere that he can't teleport to you in other regions. He just can only teleport to you in Leeway.
It would make sense.
I don't know if that's speculation, if there's somewhere that's a rule, but if that's the case, it would be useless. If it's not the case, it would be a little more useful, but then what would you do when you get there? He can't teleport you out as far as we know. So, Hey, I'm here to.
Has Zhao ever left?
I'm here to accompany you. While your car is broken down, but I can't do anything to help you.
Alright, I guess next up, Xingqiu. Xingqiu, I would put Xingqiu at B.
Agreed.
Yeah, healer, water, books. He could hold conversation. He could read the book to you, which is great.
That would be useful
on the trip. I mean, would I look forward to bringing Xingqiu? Not really. Not the worst, not the best. Somewhere in the middle. He's on the upper middle because above like the other characters that I put in B, if I had to choose someone from B to go on the trip, I'd probably bring Xingqiu.
Yeah, Xingqiu's great. I think the book thing is for me. It would be great. It'd be interesting. He would be the audiobook. You know what I mean? And then, or he would like listening to an audiobook in the car. I think he'd be interested in that. But I don't know. He's like I don't know how much we would vibe. He's like he has like introverted vibes. Like he's very quiet and stuff, and like I don't know. I feel like, not that I have a problem with introverts, but I feel like his vibes that he gives off, maybe he would just be really quiet most of the time. And like I said, to me that's like I value like the entertainment or in the car during the road trip. So I'm gonna put Xingqiu at B also. Next we have Xinyan, S tier. For me, musician, just generally cool personality, nice person, can make fire at will. So, I think she's S tier. What about you?
A person I would look forward to bringing useful on the trip, fire, music, entertainment. I'll put her at B. For me, B. Definitely could work on a road trip. There are much better options. I don't know if she would want to go on the road trip at all. I don't know. Conversationalist, I'm not too sure. I would put her at B. That's just me.
Interesting.
Zhongli. Zhongli, S tier.
Same, agreed.
Definitely. Shields. That's the first thing I thought of.
Shields.
Great conversation.
Shields.
Great conversation.
What? Yeah, Zhongli would be great in a road trip.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Shield. He can shield our car from any accidents. He can shield me from bears.
He can shield me from the rain.
I don't know. You can't, because his shield only goes around you like in a cone. The top is open, so you would still get rained on. Yeah. I don't know how it works, but yeah. Just
cover the top. Zhongli, in every situation, he's gonna be good. Good conversation, knows his tea. 6,000 years of experience of wandering really away before it was a thing, so obviously he knows what it looks like.
Yeah.
Not around civilization, so yeah. I would definitely bring Zhongli on a road trip.
Yeah, he's great. Also, his voice is soothing, easy to talk to.
Yes.
Rosaria, I think I would probably put her at D because what the heck? First of all, she doesn't want to be there. Second of all, like, she's mean. So third of all, like, she doesn't have any useful abilities that I see besides like needing to freeze something or keeping cold in a hot place. But I don't really see much value in having her in the road trip personally. What about you?
Same, D. She's like Cryo Zhao.
Yeah, literally, she's like Cryo Zhao. That's why they're next to each other.
Right, Eula. Eula. Torn, because I know she's like literally the captain of the
reconnaissance.
Oh, reconnaissance, right? So she knows how to like survive out there. I'm sure we could get along if she opens up a little bit, but she's kind of like Kaching.
Did you finish the main story, the event story?
No, not yet.
Oh, I think
shortly.
After you finish the event story, you're gonna rate her higher.
I know for a fact I would rate her higher.
Yeah,
from what I know now,
she goes through like visible growth, like in this event. So really cool.
So I'll put her at A simply because of her station. Because I know she's viable in all kinds of situations, except there's bits of her personality that I might not jive with.
Right.
Just because of how she is. But it's understandable. But
I want you to revisit that thought.
Not as much as other ones.
I want you to revisit that thought after you finish the event, because I think that watching her in the event will justify your A placement, like with the personality involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I also put her at A.
Right
I also put her A.
Not S, but A.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we agree already.
Yeah.
I do look forward to more of her story.
Yeah, she's great. I really love Eula. So, she's gonna be like, she's gonna like see something, where you're gonna be driving in the car, and this guy like cuts you off like in his car, and then she's like, "Vengeance will be mine." Road rage.
Turn the car now.
Turn the car now, vengeance! And she takes out Sword of the Broken Pine. It's like, oh, don't put it that way. Okay, so next is Yanfei. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna put Yanfei at A. I think Yanfei has a lot of useful knowledge. She's an adepti, you know. So she probably grew up in the mountains to some degree, etc. But also she just like knows a lot about law. Maybe it's Tevat law. I don't know how much about other things, but you know, she just knows a lot of things, like interesting things that I feel like I would be interested in talking to her about, like philosophical conversations. So for me, big deal. Also, she can make fire, obviously very important. But A tier for me. What about you?
Yep. She does have a bit of the strength to survive out there, you know, with the adepti energy and all that. Yeah, everything what you said, I put her at A. She's very, very useful on a trip. Someone you would definitely want to have along inside the car, have a conversation with. Very pleasant attitude, personality. Yeah. I wouldn't put her in B. She doesn't have one of those like monotonous characteristics or anything.
Yeah, she's not boring.
Yeah, she's definitely up there. Definitely up there, but not like not perfect, but really good. Kazuha, I would definitely put Kazuha at the S tier.
Yeah, agree.
Good
Musician,
navigator, good poet, musician, can handle his own. He's a fighter too.
Has stories.
And he's pretty much built to be on the road.
That's his whole thing, right? Like traveling, so like being a nomad of sorts. So I think he would be great for it too. Yoimiya, non-biased answer, S tier.
I agree. Yep.
You're just amazing person overall, has lots of skills, great personality, joy to be around, definitely knows how to respect you and cares about you, like actually actively listens to you. I mean, the first character to mention asking about finding your sibling in in the entire game so far.
Yeah, I care too.
Yeah, like
I actually
oh my
remember.
god, you care. Yeah, Yoimiya S tier. I think many people agree after doing her second story mode quest. So yes, S tier. You said you agree, right?
S tier.
All right, who's next?
Sayu. I'm putting Sayu at C tier. Not the worst. You don't want her on the trip at all, but could be useful. You know, healer, sneaking around and hide. Very comfortable. Yeah, C tier.
Yeah, I agree. I think because I think first of all she would just be sleeping most of the time, which I think is kind of boring for me. But at the same time, it's not like I don't want her there, like some of these other characters, like Xiao or Diluc or Diona. Like I don't want them to be on the road trip with me almost. And so Sayu I wouldn't mind, but I don't think it would be very fun for me. But it would be, you know, she's cute and like she can, you know, I don't know, she knows stuff, she can ask questions, but not terribly excited to be on a road trip with Sayu, so I'm gonna put C as well. Okay, so Raiden Shogun. I love Raiden Shogun as a character. Would I want to be okay? And we're gonna say A, right? We're gonna say like A herself. So I'm gonna say C, and obviously the cooking and stuff or whatever. Actually, you know, I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say B because I like her, and I think she's interested in the world, and I think it'd be fun to have conversations with her about what's going on in the world and explaining things to her that she missed and needs to catch up on. But I would not let her get anywhere near food. And you know, but then what about you? I'd put her B.
For those of you who don't know specifically, her character literally cannot cook in the game. So if you're unfamiliar, yeah, her character doesn't cook at all, so you don't want her anywhere near food. I'm putting her at C. She's not someone, I mean, I'm sure she would love to see the world. I don't know if a road trip is how to do that. maybe a different way, maybe like an actual like formal invitation to like a certain place, and yeah, you sit down, you have like a whole gathering of some sort, like some sort of meeting, but not a road trip. She's not really like inclined to be around any kind of physical labor. She's an empress. She's been an empress for a very, very long time. Her personality is bright, but okay, we're looking at A, right?
Yeah, A, not Raiden Shogun.
Okay. A is a lot more cheerful, obviously.
That's However, why I went from C to B personally, but like, you know, I totally get what you mean. Like, she doesn't bring a lot to the trip. Yeah.
No. She could talk. She's pleasant, but you know what? For like being optimistic, I'll put her at B. So of the B characters, I would definitely take her. If I had to choose, yes, I would definitely take her. Yeah, I'll keep her at B. A is B.
A is B.
Next we have Kujo Sara.
Ooh.
Kujo Sara, I am bringing her into the C tier. She would not want to be there. She has other things to do. She's a general. She's probably more in charge of like the army than A is. Not a good conversationalist.
Yep.
You know, the Tsundere character is she doesn't like the Traveler specifically. She's of course enamored with A. So she's like really like tied to her duties. But she's very, very smart. She's very, very like, you know, knowledgeable in battle, being on the field.
She can catch you food by shooting things with her arrows.
Right. But even if she was a B, I wouldn't really want to take her anyways, so back down to C.
I'm gonna put her at D, because of like one of the trend of some of the characters in D is like they wouldn't want to be there, and then also like having. Hold on a sec. Also, having her there would basically mean that she's not doing her job, and she'll probably just talk about work all the time. And as much as I like Kujo Sara as a character in general and her design, I would not want to be on a road trip with her. So I'll put her at D. Next is...
I mean, she is kind of like a female Diluc, so yeah.
Exactly, female Diluc, exactly. Next is Kokomi. So Kokomi, I'm gonna say it's like close between A and B, but I think I'll lean A for Kokomi, because like Kokomi seems fun, honestly, like actually to talk to, and she has like this like you know, the strategy thing. Like I'm sure it'd be really interesting to have some conversations with her about some things she's interested in, and I'd probably personally be interested in like having philosophy conversation with her. But you know, and she's water, and she's a healer, so you know, there's always that. But I think that she would be A tier for me. What about you?
Yeah, A tier, just like Ayaka. She's very useful in a lot of situations, has a lot of knowledge, someone you would definitely look forward to bringing with you on a trip. I mean, I put Ayaka in A. I mean, even though that's like a very heavy preferential A, Kokomi is still like on the more useful side of the A's. But S is not perfect in every situation. There may be certain tasks that she couldn't do just because she's a little frail. But she's very, very high up there. She knows how to fish. She is a fish. Yeah, definitely very, very useful on a road trip. And I'm sure she would love to be on the trip as well. I mean, she would love to get out of Enkanomiya every now and then. She would most likely enjoy the scenery, the new scenery as well. Yeah, A tier. Next up we have Aloy. Okay, Aloy obviously is gonna be S tier.
S tier.
S tier definitely. From her root game, obviously she's meant to be out there
exploring,
and I'm sure you can have a fun conversation with her as well.
Yeah, she's interested in technology too in general, so like that's pretty cool. S. I think she's an easy S for sure. Next up is Toma, who I think Toma would be S tier, A tier. I'll put him A tier for me. Obviously has a lot of good what is it called, like housing home economic skills, and like being able to, you know, make fire shields. He can cook, like very knowledgeable. I think in his hangout he was like teaching people how to like knit sweaters or something, I don't remember, but anyway, he's like really cool and very easy to talk to, I think. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. What about you?
reluctantly in S, because I cannot think of a situation where he's bad. You know, good fun conversation. I don't know the guy as much, so I mean, he's not like child. He's not like Tartaglia, but he is very well-rounded. You know, cook, starts fires.
Reluctantly S. I love. Wait, did you do his hangout?
Yes, honestly. Oh, he has a hangout. Oh no, I didn't do his hangout.
Oh, then yeah, you'll definitely put him in S after the hangout.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
I was debating. It was like,
he's great.
It was like almost reluctantly A for me. Like it was leaning S, but I kind of put him in A because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he doesn't have that thing that pushes him over to S for me that I would like really, really enjoy being on a road trip with him. He's cool. I love Toma, but like, he's not like a jokester. He's not like a, you know, if Toma comes with Taromaru the dog, guaranteed S tier, 100%. Like, if they come together, package deal, S tier for sure.
I mean,
I love dog.
I said, well, here's the thing. I said reluctantly S, so then I guess technically that would make him an A
for you.
By that alone.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have to be realistic. Like, would I definitely go to Toma first for a road trip? No. So A.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if it's a personal thing, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. Aratagi Ito. I am sad to say D.
Yeah.
I
was really thinking of putting him in the do you want your car to break down like with Bennett for me. Like that, almost that bad. Like I would not want him in the road trip with me, you know?
Get bored. He's like ADHD or whatever.
Yeah, I think it would be too much. I think he would literally, oh, this is right. This is what I was thinking of. He would literally be the kid that says, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Like it would be
worse
Ito.
than everyone else.
Yeah, it would be terrible. Oh God. Okay, so yeah, agreed. D tier. Goro. This is an interesting one. I mean, I like dogs, but maybe Goro is a B for me. I think it's that like I'm not excited to go on a road trip with him, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind going on a road trip with him. I don't really know much about his hobbies. I haven't done his hangout yet. So doing hangouts is gonna really help with this. I think I'm gonna try to prioritize hangouts this week because next time we do a tier list, I kind of want to have the context of the characters for the hangouts for this tier list making. So yeah, Goro, don't know much about. Off of what I know about him right now, I think I would put him at B. What about you?
I mean, I would put him at A. He's very useful. He's like Kujo-Sara. He's used to being out in the field, but he has a way better personality than Kujo-Sara.
True,
so
very
he's
true.
More pleasant to be around. He knows how to be out there. He knows how to be in the wilds. He's strategy. He's energetic. He can help out with all kinds of tasks and responsibilities, and I'm sure he would love to see a new area as well. He's just used to being out in the field a lot. He's in the same category as Eula. They're both commanders. They're both in like groups and armies and battalions. So sure, I would definitely put him in A. If I'm thinking of road trip, yes, he's probably gonna come up in conversation. Not the first, so definitely not S. Definitely not B, because I'm sure he could definitely do well on a road trip. So
interesting.
A. Next up, did you want to introduce this one?
Oh, I think it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. So next up we have Shenhe. Shenhe, I am going to put at a C. Doesn't feel like she would want to move around a lot. She doesn't like people at all. She very, very, keeps to herself. She's kind of like Chi-Chi, just taller.
Agree. C tier.
She knows plants.
She knows plants. She eats them.
She knows plants.
Yeah, at the C tier for me too. Not like much of a personality. I wouldn't mind her being there. Whether she would want to be there or not, debatable. Depends on the situation. But I think she wants to learn about more human things, so I think it'd be interesting for her to be there. But definitely nowhere near my first choice for sure. Next up we have Yunjin, who is an S tier for me because Yunjin is cool. She's a musician. She has stories. She is so cool. I really like Yunjin. I think I would be very excited to go on a trip with Yunjin. What about you?
I'm torn because not S. It's not someone I would say, yes, bring Yunjin right away.
Yeah,
So
she's not terribly useful, but like, yeah.
Between A and B, I know I would probably put her towards the probably towards the B.
Yeah, I feel like B from based off of how you've been criteriaing things.
She's right in the middle. She's like not good, not bad. In the same category. She's not. I would definitely choose like, you know, Kokumi, Toma, Goro over Yunjin. So yeah, I would put B. Now Yae Miko. This is weird because unfortunately I'm gonna have to put her at like D.
Oh yeah.
I don't think she's road trip material like at all. I don't think I know she'd probably be like a good conversation for a little bit, but she is not someone who likes manual labor. She's very cunning and conniving, scheming, and all that kind of stuff. And she's like in her shrine like 24/7.
You know, you mentioned manual labor, and I can't help but think that you associate road trip with camping trip more.
Well, because it's not just the trip. Like you're gonna be taking stops. You're gonna be resting. You're gonna be.
All right. So okay, let me. Okay, so that's fine, and you can keep going with that. But like, let me tell you like what a road trip is like in the mainland U.S. Like, if I'm gonna go from like I'm gonna drive from Florida to New York, right? That's like the bottom right of the U.S. up to the top right of the U.S. basically, and you're never in the woods. you drive past woods, but like you stop at a rest stop, so you're on the highway 90% of the time, and then you've driven for 5 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours, whatever. You need to rest, you need to go to the bathroom. There is a building with like a KFC, some bathrooms, some gift shops, like convenience store type deal, restaurants sometimes, and it's just there in the middle of the highway, in the middle of nowhere. And then but it's like a building on like concrete, it's not like in the middle of the woods. And then you just get back. There's usually a gas station there too. And you fill up, you just go on your way. So then you're just on the road like that, and you do that until you get to your destination. So if your destination is a camping ground, sure. But my destination is like, I want to go to a hotel in New York because I'm going to go for an event. So I'm never in the woods. Like I'm never going to need survival skills unless my car breaks down, unless something like that happens. But that is very unlikely.
Well, very unlikely, but like anything happening along the way. For what I look at as a trip, like a trip doesn't actually have to be a very specific kind of vehicle. Like the road trip it could incorporate a lot of maybe actually walking. I'm thinking of like a travel, because I'm trying to like broaden it to like any kind of potential road trip. I mean, it could be outdoors. It's going to be outdoors at some point.
Right. Well, road trip is like motor vehicle. Like you're in a car. Like that's a road trip.
True.
Yeah.
True. Okay, well,
so
I'm thinking like to cover any potential occurrence along the way, would some kind of knowledge about navigation, potentially like manual labor to fix something, maybe being outdoors for a little bit, or potentially once you get there, like are you gonna stay there for a while? Like, of course, your destination could be very, very different. I'm just trying to keep it very broad, because anything can happen on the trip.
Yeah,
it's
so weird because I feel like your criteria is geared toward like literally being outside.
Yes.
Yeah, like
outdoors.
Literally being outside. But like my criteria has nothing to do with being outside. Like you're in a car the entire time trying to pass time. So that's where my criteria comes from. But it's just so interesting because like I also realize that you've never like done the road trip thing.
Not a very I've been on like plane rides, I've been on long car rides, but not like an actual road trip car ride, not like hours of driving.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So
it's just not something that, if I had to prepare for something like that, what would I be looking for?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, it's really interesting because we have super different perspectives on that. But okay, so you think manual labor something? You put her what?
I had to put Yae Miko at D. I can't think of any reason why she would be out there. I wouldn't look forward to being on the trip with her. Is she useful? Not really.
All right, so for me, she's B because, like I said, if I'm not outside or whatever, then like if you were outside, then I totally get that. For me, like we're in a car, we're driving, we're talking. She has stories. She's pretty good with words. Yeah, maybe she's like, kind of whatever sometimes. I don't know. Like she's
They're
very
flirtatious.
yeah. Like she's kind of like foreshadowy. I don't even want to say flirtatious. Like she's like foreshadowy. Isn't that weird? Like she's like always implying something. And I forgot. Like I think there might be a word for that. But anyway, she's kind of speaking in code all the time. And so like I feel like it would be interesting to have a conversation with her. I just don't know how much I would like to do it for a long time. Which is why I put her at B. She's in the middle for me. You know, I'm not excited to have her there, but you know.
I mean, for that, I could probably put her up to C at most. But I don't know what she would do.
Yeah, well, the practicality you're talking about, she definitely doesn't really fit. She would just turn into a fox and run away, you know? Like, bye.
You know, just because maybe she's a better conversation than Arataki Ito or Michelle, Rosario,
yeah. I think she would want to be there more than those people.
Probably. Yeah, I'll put her at C.
But I'm not saying this to influence your tiers to make them like closer to mine. I'm just telling you like these are the criteria I'm thinking of. So I'm trying to understand your criteria. So the next one's Ayato. Kamisato Ayato. I don't know. I feel like I don't vibe with this guy.
This is tricky.
I'm sure he could be interesting to talk to. I'm struggling to decide whether I'm like hovering between B and C right now. I think I will put him at C because I'd actually be like a little intimidated to go on a road trip with him for a long amount of time, knowing his status and like what kind of person he is. So I think I'll put him at C. What about you?
Same. I would put him in the same line as Yaimiko.
Oh,
because yeah, conversationally, like I don't know how much I could carry conversation. We could, but not for long. I don't know how useful they would be. I don't know how entertaining they would be. I don't know if they even want to be in the road trip because they have their own responsibilities. They like to be in their own area, their own establishment.
Right.
Yeah, I will put him at C. However, Yelan, I'm putting her at S.
Oh.
Everything that I can think of, Yelan would be useful. Yelan would be beneficial. Would probably like to get around, knows her way around because she has an intelligence network as well. I could probably ask her a lot of questions about like what her work has been doing.
But then she'd have to kill you. I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Yeah, if by anyone's hand, I would probably choose Yelan.
I guess that's a good point.
If anyone had to do it, if I could.
Look, when I go out, I want to go out getting killed by Yelan. Okay. Yeah, for me, man, like A or S. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put her at A because she's not like terribly entertaining, but I think she'd be a really good time to like really easy to talk to, have a lot to talk about, have her own perspectives on things. So, and yeah, I don't know. I think A for me for Yelan.
I mean, yeah, I feel she wouldn't be good in a group. I mean, she's still like one of those characters that likes to be kind of off to the sideline.
Right.
She works with Ningguang, so she gets along with Ningguang, and if I'm bringing Ningguang on the trip, I'm sure she would love to join anyways. Just like Beto. I mean, I put Beto, Ningguang, and Yelan all in S, so it kind of tells you a lot.
Right. So Kuki Shinobu? Kuki Shinobu. I think, okay, so for Kuki Shinobu, I think A. She's pretty reliable. Like, I don't know. I don't know how, and actually, you know what? Yeah, she's like A between A and S for me, because I really think she's a cool person, and she, like, obviously has a lot of personality, but, I mean, most of what we know about her personality is, like, through I don't think she has a hangout, right? She doesn't have a hangout, does she?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, she does? Okay, I didn't do it yet. Okay, so I didn't do it yet.
Character, like, pictures and portraits.
Yeah, I'm assuming that she'll be S rank for me after I do that, but I'm going to put her at A rank right now because I don't know that much about her, but she seems really cool. What about you?
Easy S, because she was an easy A, but then I looked at everyone in A and it said, would she be better than all of those people? So yes.
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it, actually.
Because at this point, because we have a lot of characters in here already, I would put her at S. So especially because I have also done her hangouts, I know that she can actually carry good conversation.
That's a good point. Okay, looking at the A people that I have already in A that I've decided to put in A, I think I will move her to S because I would definitely want to go on a road trip with her more than the people in the A tier. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Next up we have Hazel. Okay. Hazo's interesting. I feel like
I've not done his hangout.
Smart enough. He's clever enough to be out there. You could definitely talk for a little bit. I will put him at B. He would be good on the trip, but he's like Yunjin. Like these two, yeah, they have their strengths as far as like what they could do during the trip. Could I talk to both of them? Yeah. Would I look forward to? Yeah, not really. If I had to pick, I mean, Hazel would be kind of like B plus ish, maybe. But yeah, I can't really put him in A or S because I wouldn't like he wouldn't be like first in my list. He wouldn't be up there. He wouldn't be down there either. He's not horrible on a road trip because I mean he can probably hold his own.
Right.
And he's not annoying, so probably B.
For me, I put him at A because like I think again we would have really interesting conversations. I'm sure he has a lot of interesting stories based on his investigations, and yeah, he's pretty chill. He has a nice voice. He's calm. Like I think it'd be really easy to talk to him for a long amount of time. So Tighnari. Tighnari. That's a good one. Obviously. I think he would be good for a camping trip. Really good. I'm kind of debating between putting him A and S. I think I'm gonna put him at A because I don't know. Actually, I don't know because I feel like I'm gonna put him at S. The thing is, the only thing that would drop me down to A is if I was with him in a road trip with him, and he like kept talking about something, like started gushing about some science thing that like I wasn't interested in, and then he was just talking for a bunch. Like I don't know if he would do that, but like I feel like I could lose the conversation a lot if he gets really technical, and that's where I'd be kind of worried. But other than that, I think he's got the makings of an S road trip person. What about you?
I was leaning towards S, but then I realized we're gonna be in. If I had to contain him in a vehicle for a very, very long time with like Tighnari's tail and ears, it would be very uncomfortable.
That's such a good point. What if it's a convertible?
No.
What if it's a convertible?
The tail. You still have the tail.
You're right.
Still sitting down.
Dang,
you're
right.
In a seat. So, I mean, very useful on a camping trip, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, if this was camping, S. Road trip, A. Because you're in a contained space the entire time, and you have to be forced to listen to whatever each other brings up. And you bring up a good point. Maybe he goes into like a tangent. Maybe he doesn't really have a conversation, but maybe he just likes to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like we would really get along with it as well as the other S tier characters, so I put him at A.
Okay.
Kali, I would probably put in the same category. However, this is tricky because like actually, you know what? I'll put Kali at A as well. Kali and Tighnari are very, very close as far as like, you know, experience out there in the field, but also like, could you talk to them? Yes, but Kali's kind of on the shy side, and Kali and Sucrose is in A tier for me right now. So they definitely are really good in very difficult situations, perhaps, but I can still kind of fill in the gaps and wherever they're deficient in. So yeah, it's good synergy, good group. I could probably get along with Kali as well.
Oh, for me,
I'm sure she would love to see things.
Kali A, Tighnari at S, Kali A, because of the conversation thing. Like I think she would be really shy and nervous and anxious about being on the road trip, and maybe kind of get a little bit of claustrophobia and or like what's it called, like stir crazy, like just getting stuck in there and just like wanting to get out. I feel like she might not want that.
Good point.
Yeah. So like,
okay.
Just like that's the difference with like Tighnari and Kali for me. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same. So because he is training her, and he is the more experienced one. So Kali is like one rank below Tighnari for me.
Yeah, I mean, in the A category, Tighnari is still above Kali.
Right. Okay, so Kali next up.
Favorite character.
Dory
ever.
D. You know what? F. I'm making. Just make a. I'm making a.
No, you're right.
I'm
totally.
making a new category. No, I'm making a new one. It's a F tier. For F this. I don't want to be with Dory in a car for any amount of time ever. So like, yeah, I just feel like she would be. I just feel like she'd be really annoying. I don't want to be in a car with her.
No, you're
biased.
Right. I
I'm
totally
biased
agree.
too.
She's D.
Yeah, D
Even
for you. I made
we'll
a new one.
D.
I made a new one. I made an F. So. And I have under that. It's still Bennett. Do you want your car to break down tier? So. Yeah. So for you, D, right?
Yep. Dory is in D, where she belongs. Next up we have Nilu. Okay, Nilu, I'm going between A and B. Not the worst, not the best. What I look forward to, yes. Would she be better than the Bs? Probably. But favorably, yeah, I don't. She's one that dances a lot, so she does have like. I would be concerned about like her just staying still for so long. As a dancer, she would be really good when she's like out and about finally. But I would probably put her in a B.
Same, I agree. B. Like, yeah. She's great, but not terribly road trip viable, I think, in a lot of ways. So next is Sino, who is easy S tier for me. Because jokes, and I would probably gladly talk to Sino for hours about making new jokes, about telling jokes. We could even talk about TCG meta. Like, teach me the TCG meta, Sino. Like, please, like, you're the duel master. So, yeah. So Sino's S tier for me. What about you?
I put him at A, because I know he can find his way around. I know we'd have fun. I know we'd be laughing every now and then. Personality wise, I would not put him in the same line as like Barbara Amber, but I mean maybe Kooky, but I mean Kooky's still, I would say, a little more useful than Sino is. A little bit more prepared about situations. I will put him in A, very comfortably in A for me. But for Candace, that's going to be an easy S. Candace, great conversation, very calm demeanor, Hydro, shielder. Very responsible. She's like what's the other one? As far as like all the other S tier characters, I feel like, yes, I would put Candace on the same line as them. A is like, there's like something holding me back from bringing them on the trip, but Candace would be easily someone that could work on a long ride. Yeah.
Candace. Candace, like, I love Candace, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love Candace's character and what she stands for and Candace's personality. But at the same time, I don't think she's, like, as entertaining or would be as interested in a lot of the road tripping and stuff. I feel like she'd be, like, really worried about Aru Village all the time. Again, like, thinking about work almost.
Oh, damn, you're right.
But I am gonna put her at A, because I feel like I would be excited to go on a trip with her to some degree, to talk about stuff, like even to talk about philosophy, because I feel like she would have that, and just interested in her life, and stories about Ari Village. But I think that she wouldn't be like S tier. Like, she's like nowhere near S tier. She's like A minus for me, almost, like maybe B plus, but like looking at the B category, I think she would be more interesting for me to have in a car talking for a while than a lot of the other characters I have in B category, for me, personally. So, A for me.
I want to keep her in S, but you brought up the point. She has like that. She's duty bound to Aru Village.
Yes.
Ah, crud. Okay. No, I'll put her in A. No, you're right.
Yeah, I think that would get in the way.
Because that would bring up in conversations as well. It would get in the way. She'd be distracted a little bit. I mean, everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's never really left.
Yeah, I mean, she went to Sumeru City, reason. And I think they mentioned it like during briefly. The Inner Darshan event when she was there with Dia, about like, oh, they'll be fine, like, because someone was watching Aru Village, right? So yeah, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, Nahida. Nahida. Ooh. I think I'm gonna say S tier because Nahida's super curious and also obviously plants is a thing. So if something were to happen and we were in the wild, like she would be very useful for that. Her abilities, and yeah, she just seems like a really interesting travel partner. What do you think?
Yep, definitely. She can take the pictures.
Yeah.
She can collect things alongside the road.
You're right, from the car.
So as we're driving, we probably don't even have to make stops.
You're right.
We run right past like the 7-Eleven. She grabs the whole 7-Eleven.
That's stealing.
That'd be great. Well, she can do it. She's a god.
Oh, you're right.
Who's gonna question that?
You're right. You know, forget I said anything. Maybe the United States government, but okay. Okay, who's next?
Yeah, I put Nihida in S tier because obviously, you know, wisdom, the conversations, the the usage of her skill. It's just stealing everything along the side of the road, taking pictures.
Right.
But yeah, easy S. Next up we have Layla though. Layla I would put in the C category.
Agreed.
Yeah, she's not the worst. Maybe there's one thing that she would do well out there, but nah. Actually, no. I would put her a B because if I fall asleep at the wheel, and I know she's not gonna fall asleep at the wheel, even if she falls asleep, the other person kicks in, so she could just drive like the entire time.
I just thought of something. I would also put her actually to B because half of the trip would be interesting. when she's the other Layla.
Half.
Yeah, when she's the other Layla, I feel like we would have better conversations. And then the other half, she'd be like really tired. So like, but she would never be asleep, basically, is what her whole thing is, right? So when she's asleep, she's the other Layla. When she wakes up, she's the other Layla. So like, yeah, it's a really, really interesting dynamic. But I think she would be interesting, just not consistent. And I would be kind of worried about that. So B for me too. Wanderer, D.
Easily.
He doesn't annoying. He doesn't want to be there. I don't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there. Why are we even talking about this? D rank. Boom. I like the guy. He's cool. I like his story arc in the game. He's just not someone I want on a road trip.
He'd be on his own road trip.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be in anyone else's.
He would just be like, bye. And then he would like leave the car and fly away. Oh, well, there goes my road trip partner. Who's next?
Faruzan. Okay, Faruzan is weird because like I kind of don't want for her to be on a road trip or contained in a box because she could just literally go crazy again.
Good point, actually.
I would put her a D.
Oh, D. Interesting.
She wouldn't want to go. She doesn't seem like a character who wants to be moving all over the place. She wants to be inventive. She wants to be like creative. It's hard to do that in a iron box on a road for like 90% of the time. So I can't imagine she would contribute anything to the trip. So yeah, D.
Interesting. I would put her at B, because she's curious and I think she'd be really interested. And I would love to talk to her about her studies and her things that she does. Like after doing her hangout, I really enjoyed her personality and her like thought process behind a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think I would put her at B. Like not terribly excited to be on a road trip with her, but not like the worst. Definitely, I would want to talk to her more than the people in C tier. So yeah, I'll put her at B. Next is Yao Yao, and I think Yao Yao is pretty great. I'm gonna put Yao Yao at A, because I think Yao Yao is a lot of useful things that she like, a lot of useful skills, but she's also really nice and mature for her age as a kid, even though she's like a kid sort of. I don't know what she is, but she's nice, and I wouldn't mind being on a road trip with Yao Yao. What about you?
S tier.
Ooh.
Infinite food.
Yep, you can eat the rabbits. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you have meat and vegetables.
Oh God. How does that even work?
Yeah. Yaya would be very, very cheerful, just like Barbara, just like Amber, just like Zhongling. I mean, she and Zhongling are S tier.
I thought you were saying Zhongli.
They're kind of the same character.
Shangling. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Shangling.
yeah.
Shangling, Yao Yao. I feel they're very, very similar.
She's just very cheerful. You know, like Barbara, Amber, Zhongli.
Zhongli.
Just really.
Zhongli.
I just imagine Zhongli like, oh, ikuyo, let's go.
Ganbatte ne.
Okay.
But yeah, S tier for me.
S tier. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Next up, Al Hytham, easily a D.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like as much as I like Al Hytham, alone he would be terrible. Terrible partner to have in a car. I think, personally. So agree.
All right. D. All right.
Oh.
Dia.
Oh. What's that? S tier? What? S tier? Dude, I love Dia. Like, I would love to be in a car with Dia, talking to Dia about Dia stuff. Yeah, S tier. Biased. Very biased answer. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that.
Yeah, I don't even need to say it. All right, next up.
Okay. Mika. You can introduce Mika. Where do you want to go first?
All right, Mika. Okay, would you be good on a trip? I mean, you're in the same group as Eula. You're in the same reconnaissance. What is it called? The battalion
reconnaissance.
What was the group called? Like reconnaissance.
Oh,
squad?
the
fleet?
No, the what's it called? The company? Reconnaissance company? Something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Could I have a chat with this dude? Probably not. He's like albedo, but he's like a mix between Razor and Xingqiu, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put him in B. Just because he's not useless. He's proven himself over time to be in the Knights, so that's already a good thing.
Has he? I'm putting him at D.
D. He's not the worst.
He's D for me. D for me. D for me. I have zero interest in this guy. I don't want to be on a road trip with him. I don't know anything about him either. Maybe one day I'll think differently of him, but as of right now, I really have zero interest in being in a road trip with this guy.
Well, I'll put him at C, optimistically.
Yeah, no, I'm not even optimistic. Yeah. Forget it. He's actually, we were going over this yesterday on my stream. Like, he's like timid, but he's also like proven himself, and he also has like a kind of important role in the Knights of Favonius. So like, he's like a confusing character to me. I don't know if I would really want to talk to him. I guess I would want to talk to him to get to know him more, but before then I couldn't say that I would be excited to go on a road trip with him or anything, because I just don't know him, and I feel like off of what I do know, I'm not really interested in going on a road trip with him. So for me, he's not really viable to bring on a road trip, because he would only detract from the experience in some way, which is kind of what the D tier is for me. It's like people that detract from my experience on the road trip in some way. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going. So for me, Mika would kind of be in that category. Now, next is Kaveh, who, I'm going to be honest, I want to put him like A or S. I think I'll put him at A tier. Yeah, maybe I'll put him at A tier, because he is really interesting. He has like a lot of stories. He's really passionate, and I would love to talk to him about architectural design things and Sharawar things. So, but I feel like he would complain about Hytham, because that's what he does. So, whether that is relevant or not, I'm just going to put him at A tier, because maybe he's not the perfect, my ideal companion on a road trip, but he's like pretty good, at least more than a lot of the characters in like BCD tiers. So I'm going to put him at A. What about you?
Yeah, I put him at A. Also like heavily because of his briefcase.
Oh yeah, Mara.
Very useful. Yeah. Can fit a lot in there. It itself would be useful on a trip, because if you have to pack some stuff, if you have to control. Yeah. Yeah, and Kaveh generally, he's not a bad conversation, but Kaveh is definitely up there.
Yeah. So he's definitely more
interesting.
interesting.
If you get him started.
Yeah.
If you get him started on a topic, he who shall not be named. Yeah. You'd be horrible. So just keep the conversation flowing in another direction. I'm sure he'll love it. Yeah.
Right.
Baiju, okay, I would put him at an A.
Oh.
But not at an S. He could definitely be an S.
Yeah.
The problem is, of course, his health.
Yep, I was gonna say.
So just around that.
The coughing, constant coughing, and
Mm-hmm. He could so
if
easily
I die,
be S.
though.
It's just the one thing.
If I die, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, you wouldn't get close to. It would keep you just above.
But if I did, he could revive me.
Could he?
I mean, he can make me undead, right? No. He can make me undead, right? Like his story mode, remember?
Like Chi-Chi? Oh, wait. Oh, right.
The guy at the end? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep him at A. Not S, but...
A for me too. Solid A. Yeah, solid A. Baiju. So our last one.
Last but not least.
Yes, last one, our newest member to the game, Kirara. I think Kirara would be A or S. I think I'm going to put her at S because why not? Because Kirara, Dendro powers, always useful out in the world. She's the delivery job. It's basically a customer service job. I have so much, because I did customer service for a long time, I feel like we would have so much in common to like talk about, swap customer stories, and she can talk about her trip. Like, I think she'd be a really fun person to talk to. I'm allergic to cats is the one thing. So could I have her on a road trip if I took medicine? Maybe. I don't know how it works. But like, not like that part aside, I think I would love to have Kirara on a road trip. Who she is as a person. S tier. What about you?
Yep, S tier. Because one thing immediately came to my mind. Let's say we get to a block in the road, or there's some kind of like something in the middle of where you have to get over this. Mm-hmm. Literally just walk right over it.
What?
Nothing. Well, Kirara, her ability just walks right up the wall, goes over the wall.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Continues on the trip. Mm-hmm.
What about your car, though?
Well, if a car breaks down, we can still have a method of transportation.
You're gonna sit on her cat box?
Oh, however long it lasts. But she knows. Okay, seriously, she does know her way around things. She's used to being on long trips. Going from one place to another. Delivering things. Very customer savvy. So she's a good conversationalist. I mean, she's in every situation on a trip. I think she would be really, really good. She's either like high A or like low S, but I would say she's a little more useful, more cheerful, more appealing to be around than maybe Kale and Sucrose. So I'll put her into the S tier.
Nice. Okay, we did it, Kahi. That's all of the playable characters in Genshin right now. Whew, okay, so that was our first time doing it. That took a pretty long time. But as we get more characters, it will only get longer. So, but it is a very interesting conversation. Definitely, I'm curious to see what topic we're going to talk about next. But for those of you that want to see the visual tier list that we have created, we are going to post it on Discord. So look forward to seeing that. And make your own tier list. Let us know what you think. Who do you think would be viable to go on a road trip with you? And let us know. Reply to our post in the Discord. So yeah, that was fun. Now, that being said, so now we've done our first Ludicrous list segment. So hopefully many more of those to come. I'm really excited for that. That was really fun. Thought exercise. Now, let's move on to our next section, which is the community question discussion. So last week we asked, what instrument gadget should we get next? So Kahi, what do you think we should get next?
To fit the theme, I either want an accordion or a violin. I think I want an accordion. Just because it's probably more fun sounding, more unique sounding than the violin. We've probably gotten some variations of it before, but I want to wait. Yeah, accordion. I'll go with that.
Yeah, I think I'll go for just like a guitar, straight up, like an acoustic guitar, because I love the acoustic guitar, and I would love
strumming or like picking.
Yeah, I mean, both. Like, I would prefer to have the ability to do both, but if just picking is there, that's okay too. But yeah, like the sound of the acoustic guitar I really like. So, and I would love to see the characters like playing it. So yeah, that would be cool. So let's look at now the answers from Discord. So I'll check out the answers from Discord, and let's see. So Kazu says, violin please. Piano would be nice too, but not very handy. Good point, Kazu. Piano would be very hard to get around. Silent Knight says, I think a flute would be nice. I feel like it would fit the game very well. Ooh, yeah, I think a flute would be good. I'm kind of surprised we don't have a flute already, huh? Kave's long lost sister says a flute would be cute, or a guitar, or a triangle, or a clarinet. Yes, all good instruments. I agree. Meowie, an accordion, please. It would suit with the Fontaine Carnival / circus vibes with the twins and the garb and Fontaine. Exactly, like very Team Kahi answer. Alpha Kite says a full-sized piano. Yep. Well, Kaz is like, oh yeah, piano would be nice, but not very handy. Alpha Kite's like, no, just give us a full-sized piano.
Keyboard.
Oh yeah, like dude, like an electric keyboard. Ooh, a magic keyboard. Oh, this place has magic. We can't forget that. Pimzo Balto says a kazoo would be absolutely hilarious. Dude, I love kazoos. I would love that so much.
That would be funny, yeah.
Yeah. Salido says those bottles with various liquids inside that you blow on. Oh man, that would be great. What would that animation even look like? That'd be hilarious. Violin animations would look pretty cool, and other than the drums, we've only gotten string instruments anyway. So that being said, maybe it's time to get a flute or something instead for some variety. Yeah, I think that'd be cool if we got wind instruments. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's for sure. Oh my god, Kahi, can you imagine if we got a saxophone?
Oh yes,
Oh my god. Let's see.
Epic sax guy.
Pavo Noctua says a piano for the teapot would be nice. Ooh, that would be cool. Oh my god, yes. Put a piano down in the teapot. That's brilliant. I could see something with venti and a flute too. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Flute would be great. Let's see. Kelbo Baggin says, like, I think that a euphonium would be pretty cool, perfect for someone in Mondstadt to play. Ooh, a euphonium. Yeah, brass instruments. Why not, right? Tris125 says, I think some type of brass instrument would be cool, like a trumpet or a trombone. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Trumpet or trombone would definitely be interesting. Being a band musician myself, it's great to have a brass instrument like a trumpet, trombone, or euphonium, says WL Forever Banna. Yep, I think that's a really good one for sure. And, Child says a saxophone. Yep, Flat Child says a saxophone. Let's see, who else? Healing Halo says maracas would be fun. Ooh, maracas. I can imagine the Traveler doing a little dance as they shake them. Yeah, I mean, we could get some instruments that are like... That'd
be fun.
Like, to do the little dance. I think it would be cool to get some, like, more percussion instruments that don't necessarily have all the notes that, like, another instrument might have, like a flute or something. Like, you know, for percussion. So that you can, like, get in a group with other people and just, like, play music, like, on the thing. That would be really fun. Let's see. Kian1 says, I would want a microphone or a loudspeaker. I know it's not necessarily an instrument, but it would be fun to see a character hold one and sing a couple of notes. Just like one scale per character, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, or something like that. Just to finish the whole band look. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I agree. So, that's from Discord. What about you, Kahi, over on Spotify?
We have a few. First off, the Prinzessin der Vertellung. I wish there would be a violin, because I played violin. That is cool. I've always wanted to play violin. And I'm curious how it would turn out. Imagine what it would look like if a small zombie child tries to play a violin. Chi-Chi playing the violin. That would be pretty funny. Animal Strange says DJ set, where we sample sounds from creatures and remix them. Well, maybe not the Sissin Mage. Okay, that is a very interesting concept, because all the sounds that are already in the game would be the instrument. Huh, that'd be interesting. The Jester says, I would want a drum, but I think it already exists, so my next pick is a flute. Yeah, a lot of people like flutes. I think it would sound amazing. And then next, by Willow Bell says, a hydrolophone? A hydrophone? Hydrolophone?
Hydrolophone?
Yeah, Hydraulo phone.
A hydrolophone is a tonal acoustic musical instrument played by direct physical contact with water. Whoa, this is cool. They should add this.
Hold on, that is like literally perfect for the theme.
What?
They might actually do something.
Dude, it looks like it looks like a pipe with like a water sprinkler attached to it, and it just like sprays water at your hands while you touch the water. Supposedly over holes or something.
What in the world? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. Like, you should look it up. It's like really interesting.
I will.
Yeah.
Like, wow. But makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'll look into that. All right, and that's what Spotify says. So a lot of people are definitely liking to leave their suggestions and their comments on our Discord. So please feel free to join it. A lot of our discussions are going to continue on there as well. But of course, our podcast is where we like to have the big discussion, and you get to listen and enjoy. So, Josh, is there anything else we need to get into?
This week's question: if you could go back in time to play one event again, what would it be? Now, of course, this could include like events you haven't played, because we don't have the ability yet in Genshin to play past events, which hopefully we will get one day. But if you could go back and play one of those events right now, which one would you want to experience? And feel free to answer this question on our Discord, on Spotify, on Twitter, or on YouTube now. So yeah, let us know what your answers are, and we will talk about them next week. Okay, so let's move on to our One Last Wish segment. Kahi, are you ready?
Once this file integrity has been verified, then yes.
Okay, so yes, for One Last Wish segment, Kahi and I will both pick one banner to wish exactly one time and see what we can get. And we've kind of come up with a little thing with it, which is like whoever gets the higher rarity wish is the winner. Even though that doesn't really matter, but it's fun to talk about. So, guess we're doing that.
Josh, would you like me to go first, or would you like me to wait for you?
Go for it.
All right, so I'll be rolling for a good weapon. Hopefully, I can put it on a good character. Wish number 1 incoming. Oh, it's purple.
Oh, nice.
Oh, this could be good. Oh, it's the rain slasher.
Oh man, time to slash some rain, Kahi.
Wait a second, I haven't seen that in a while. Could that be useful for any Fontaine stuff?
I mean, we don't know yet, but it does do extra damage against Hydro affected enemies, so...
It is Hydro.
Yeah, Hydro and Electro.
Wait, do we have a Hydro Claymore? No.
No, we do not.
It always looks so cool, but it never matched any character yet.
Yeah, the closest thing I could justify using it on was Razor. Alright, I'm going to be wishing on the weapon banner as well, so let's see what happens here. Hoping for Song of Broken Pines or Wolf's Gravestone. Oh, purple. Also purple. Favonius Lands. Yay. Alright, well, we tied. Yay.
Yep.
Yeah, we both got purple.
4-star, 4-star.
Yep.
I think mine looks better though.
What?
My weapon looks better.
What? Anyway, next time, weapon tier list aesthetics. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so okay, that wraps up the show for today. Anyways, thanks for listening, and if you have the time, please leave us a comment and a review. We'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening to the podcast. And follow us on Twitter. Once again, at Genshin Guys Pod. Follow me on Twitter at JSide Gaming. Kahi at Kahiao, Kahiyaao. Kahiao on YouTube as well. And then me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JSide. And as always,
Ad Astra Abyssos.
星と支援を目指せ。
Enjoy.